Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been 2 years since Shanquella Robinson went on vacation to Mexico with 6 friends who the people are now calling the Cabo Six and never made it home. If y'all not caught up, I have a playlist of about 12 videos here on this channel. Y'all can catch up there. But in this update, y'all will hear from Shanquella's mother, Miss Salamandra Robinson, and an old friend to the family and their attorney, Sue Ann Robinson. Still asking for answers and seeking justice for Shanquella. Let's continue to try and get justice for Shanquella and continue to keep the Robinson family in our prayers. With that, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and smash that notification bell so y'all won't miss out on my next video. Stay blessed. Peace.
Good afternoon, everyone, family, friends, Charlotte area news media. I am Mario Black, founder of Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. As you know, today is the 2-year anniversary that a queen was taken from not only her family, but the Charlotte community. So last week when Sue Ann called me to tell me about today, my heart was overjoyed. And I've been emotional over other stuff, life, just been lifing, but that was tears of joy last week when I talked to them on Friday. So here we are. We're here. I'm not going to take up too much time, but thank you for thinking it not robbery to come and stand with this family. The news outlets, thank you for thinking it not robbery to continue to keep the coverage going, not only in Charlotte, but across the world, because Shanquella Robinson's story touched the masses, and it happened in our backyard. So we appreciate everyone, and I'm going to turn it over to Mom Robinson.
Good evening. I'm Shanquella Robinson's mother, Salamandra Robinson, and I would like each and every one of you, if you can, anything you can do, step in and help us with justice. We need justice for Shanquella Robinson. It has been 2 years, and there's no reason that no one has not been arrested yet, and I need justice for my child. Thank you.
Amen.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sue Ann Robinson, and I have the honor of representing Shanquella Robinson's family. Today marks a very somber and heartbreaking milestone, the 2-year anniversary of the tragic of a remarkable young woman whose life was cut short in a senseless act of violence while she was on vacation in Mexico. Shanquella Robinson was more than just a victim. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a vibrant soul full of promise and dreams. Her laughter, her kindness, and adventurous spirit touched the lives of everyone who knew her. Today, as we remember her and take action towards justice for her, we are reminded of the joys that she brought to our lives and the profound loss felt by her family and friends. As we stand here today, we must confront the reality that those responsible for her have not been held accountable. As we stand here today, we must confront the reality that those responsible for her have not been held accountable. The lack of justice serves as a painful reminder of the vulnerabilities faced by individuals, especially young black women, when they seek adventure in unfamiliar places with unfamiliar faces. It is our responsibility to ensure that such tragedies do not go unanswered. We are here today not only to honor Shanquella Robinson and her family, but to call for action. We demand still, again, and until the end, that authorities take the necessary steps to investigate this case thoroughly and bring those responsible to justice. We believe that every victim deserves to have their story heard and their rights upheld regardless of where they are in the world. As we reflect on the past 2 years, we also look to the future with determination. We will not rest until justice is served for Shanquella Robinson and her family. We urge all of those in positions of power and soon to ascend to positions of power to prioritize this case to ensure that accountability is not just a promise but becomes a reality. We thank you for your support, and we are open to take questions on the litigation that has been filed. Yes.
Jeff Chandler, the Charlotte Observer. Have you had any contact with any of the 6 individuals that were on the trip with Shanquella since before or since the lawsuit has been filed? You were a family?
No. Yes.
Morgan Francis with the Queen City News. First and foremost, continued condolences to the family for what you've been through the past 2 years. And how it's been hard on you guys. Piggybacking off of what you said, do you know their whereabouts of all the Cabo 6? I know initially it was that some of them have moved out of the area. Any knowledge on where their whereabouts are? And then I have another question after that.
All the information with respect to their whereabouts, we pled in our complaint to the court.
Okay. And then wanted to touch on the lawsuit when it comes to the State Department and the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen too many cases, if any at all, where they're mentioned in a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
For the FBI, it mentions a delay in getting that second autopsy. Obviously, there were conflicting opinions between Mexican authorities and their autopsy, the one that was done back here at home. Is there another case that you guys can point to that kind of is a comparison in a way for an appropriate timeline to get a second autopsy done like that, or is this just such an extenuating circumstance?
I think the point of the lawsuit is that it is an extenuating circumstance, right? That no family should have to go through this, that the federal authorities have a duty to thoroughly and quickly investigate a claim, and that every day that they delay is justice denied for this family. And so it is unique. It is, in a way, of first impression, but it doesn't mean that it isn't a remedy that should not be sought. I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. If it was up to me, we would have had a thorough investigation and had answers for this family 2 years ago. But we're here, so we're going to fight on. Yes?
Question for Salamandra. How did you feel when the lawsuit was finally filed?
Well, it's not going to bring back Shanquella Robinson, but it's that I know that the FBI should have been done something at this time, after 2 years ago. I know a lot of stuff that was in the phones of Shanquella Robinson that I gave to the FBI, and the FBI looked over it like it was nothing. And, you know, and just like you just pushed my daughter up under the rug when you should have been arrested these people. You had a video where she was being brutally, but you want to mess with the autopsy and say that she did not have a broken back or spine when the FBI are deliberately lying. Because someone had, attorney had already, not my attorney, but attorney had already told me don't let the FBI mess with that autopsy, that they were going to switch it around. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm fed up with this stuff. I need justice for my child.
Amen.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes?
Was there any new evidence or any new piece of information that have come forward to make this the specific time for bringing the lawsuit forward? I know that, of course, the significance of today's date, but was there anything new entering into this space?
We did disclose in full the Mexican investigation in the complaint, which we had not done before, in the hopes that perhaps the State Department or the FBI were actually, as they indicated, working on something. But as you pointed out, today would be the 2-year anniversary, and they have not communicated with us anything other than stating that we can wait another 5 years for a response to our public records request on what they did. So we don't have an option. Their actions have led us to this point.
Could you clarify that a little bit? What do you mean 5 years for the public
In our lawsuit, we allege we have presented the FBI with a public records request in order to be able to assess what was done on the case. And their response was, we can get back to you in 5 years, which obviously would be an even more significant delay, even more significant erosion of evidence in the case, memories of witnesses, etc. So it's an unacceptable response.
This is to Shanquella's mother. You can't speak to what was lost over those 2 years by not having this information.
I think with respect to evidence, the issue is that the witnesses in Mexico, their memories would fade. The Cabo 6 memories can fade. It's over time. They have time to create new stories, create new memories. So everyone knows that the best time to work on a crime is within the first 48 hours, right? Well, we're at year 2. So that delay is causing justice to be denied, but we're still going to fight on.
My question really is to her about the impact of what you say, justice denied, justice delayed, what that does to the family, what that does to the individual waiting for answers.
Waiting for answers is also an impact on my family. It gives us a hard way of grieving. We have a hard time grieving. You know, every year we got an anniversary coming up. It never goes away. When you're kind of at ease and you think your mind is doing good, then here comes something else. You know, and then we should have been had justice. Even if they couldn't arrest the whole Cabo 6, some of these people should have been already in jail. Long time ago. Long time ago. You got a video. If it had been anybody else, child, they would have been locked up. My child, you gonna see what's going on. You see exactly what's going on. All of you do. And I need justice for Shanquella Robinson.
That's right.
Just wondering if you had any other steps you were considering besides this lawsuit.
Well, I think nothing, in my experience as an attorney, greases the wheels of justice like litigation. So we're going to see, you know, how the courts fare it out. We're, as Ms. Mondi says, we're hoping for justice. And most importantly, with a family like this, with what has happened, they have an open wound every single day. And you're trying to also heal, but you can't because the wound is not closed. You don't have the information. You don't know what's happening. You're not getting questions resolved. And it's a situation where a lot of the questions that they have the answers are there. They're just not being provided with it. And that's what the lawsuit is really about. Ms. Mondi, Shanquella's family, they do not want another family to have to go through this. There shouldn't be a way for a United States citizen to be abroad by United States citizens' participation, and for them to be able to come back to the United States and be on base and just be insulated from liability, insulated from accountability, and for the family not to receive closure. That should not be the case. And so that's why we're here, and that's why we filed this lawsuit, because we want to take action and show the authorities that we're serious, that it should not be swept under the rug, that her life mattered, and we're still here, and we're going to continue to fight. So we do appreciate everyone who's here and supporting the family.
Going back to what Salamandra mentioned with wanting everyone in the Cabo 6 to be arrested, another part of this lawsuit is the State Department. You guys allege that their extradition request was not done correctly. To your knowledge, is that something that stops it in its tracks, or is there still a possibility that this extradition of Dejanay can happen?
The issue with respect to the extradition is that the Mexican authorities have advised me that they've taken all the steps pursuant to the treaty that would be needed to be taken. They've done a full investigation. They presented their investigation packet to the proper authorities at the State Department. It would then be up to the U.S. Attorney to work in conjunction with the State Department in order to authorize and initiate an extradition which we would all see publicly because that would be a U.S. federal case where they would have the opportunity, whoever is being extradited, to say there's not enough evidence, there is enough evidence, and have their day in court. This has not been initiated because we would all know about it. So the issue is that process has not even begun, and we're 2 years out from the incident. So that's what we're saying in the complaint, that the U.S. Department of Justice has not initiated that procedure, and it's been 2 years.
Have they given you any sort of indication as to whether or not they're going to initiate that procedure? Or whether or
No,
not?
and that's the issue. Any other questions? Going once. Okay.
Solomon, I don't want to put you through any more than you've already been through, but a huge part of this is who Shanquella was. Would you mind sharing a few words about her personality again with us?
Yeah, Shanquella was a kind-hearted person, loved people. You know, she would never do no wrong to nobody. I don't see how nobody had the heart to do her like that. Unfortunately, we know these people did not have any heart to do my child like that, and she didn't deserve it like that, you know. And you're going to take her away from her family, away from out the country to do her harm like that. And all of you sit back. Now, one of them didn't have no sense to stop it or try to help her. They're going to sit there and video it and look at it, and because they all had a part to do with it. They all played a part in them, and each and every one of them should be arrested because she was a good person.
That's right.
She never did nothing to hurt nobody.
She was starting a business, correct?
Yeah, she had a few business. She done a little bit of everything. Done kids' hair, sold clothes, worked at an insurance office. And she just was a lovable, humble person. Never heard her say anything bad about anybody. Never. And we was very close. Her 25 years on this earth, I was close with my daughter. Very close to her. Never heard her say nothing wrong about anybody, nothing bad about anybody. She only loved people. And if she could do anything to help you, she would.
I'm wondering how you feel about the turnout today. There's, tables are full, people are here. How are you feeling about that turnout of support?
I feel good to still have support after 2 years. We had a balloon releasing for Shanquella on Saturday and had a big turnout. It was very nice.
Was that at your house or was that at...
No, it was at the graveside.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a couple
Miss
more
Gardner,
questions,
she had
and
something
then
to
we'll...
say.
I guess it's good afternoon about now, but I would just like to say that Shanquella was a very loving person. I guess I could say I was kind of like her babysitter. Because school opened, her mother had to be at work so early in the morning. She would always drop off at my house, and she'd stay there at the time to go to school. And she was just go-getter. That's what Shanquella was. And, all the kids just loved her to death. But what I would like to say today is to the 6 that was with her. My plea, if you're watching this or if you'll be watching this, my plea is to you. And I'm saying to you, I'm standing first, y'all. I'm standing for God. That's who I believe in. I'm standing for him on behalf of the Robinson family. And I would like to say to those 6, no matter where you go, you're not going to be able to run from this situation. And what God would have me to say to you all today, he is a God of a second chance. And it's time for each one of you to come forth for the part that you played in. Because none of you could be friends, because if you were friends, you would not have done this. So it's time for you to step forward and take your part in this situation. See, because man is not a second chance man. And God will forgive. And you got to come out. No matter what lawyer you get, you will never be able to pay him to get you off. So it's time now. It's just like a ball game. It's 3 strikes. So y'all have had 2 strikes. And that third strike, it means you out. And when God takes control, can't nobody help you. No matter who it is, your mother, your father, or anyone can help you. And you know, it's just sad that people, I don't understand how they haven't done anything. I'm like Miss Robinson. When they sent the film to me, and by the way, I had the privilege, I'm a pastor, and I had a privilege to pastor Shanquella for over a year and a half. And I enjoyed her being under my leadership. She was always there, always loving, always cutting up. She doing what Shanquella do. But to the 6, can't no lawyer help you. I promise you, no matter what you're paying. Because the Bible said that vengeance is mine. And God promised, and I believe in him. He said, vengeance is mine, and he said, I will make them pay. So to the Robinson family, keep your head up. Remember Shanquella as she was, and I know that nothing we can do is going to bring Shanquella back. And I believe if God would just give us the opportunity to just speak to Shanquella, Shanquella will tell y'all, I'm all right now. I don't want to come back to this so mean world. She wouldn't want to come back here because we'll see her back here fighting to try to stay alive, to try to love one another, try to be kind to one another. And still, it's hard. But young people, say to yourself, don't worry about the other ones, but don't say to yourself, I'm going forward now. I'm going to take responsibility for the part that I played. Because this was a choice. This wasn't a mistake y'all made. It was a choice. And when you make choices in life, there's a consequence behind every choice that you make. And it might take a long time, but God is not going to let you get by. So the sooner you come forward, the sooner you take your part in it, the sooner you can go on with your life. Because no matter what, you didn't have the right. You had no right. You didn't have the right to take a life, no matter what the situation was. So we just pray. We'll keep praying to God. And even though it look like man is failing y'all right now, Monty, God is not. He got your back, and he's going to make everything all right.
Thank you.
All right, just to close, we did make the complaint publicly available. We want to thank local council who's present for their support. We want to thank the community for their support. But most importantly, as Ms. Gardner said, we're in litigation now. So it's a different time. There's going to be accountability in this case. You can see it's 2 years later. We're not going away. The family deserves closure. They deserve answers. Every American citizen deserves that. That is what those are their constitutional rights. That's what we're asking for those constitutional rights to be honored. We're not asking for anything different. We're not asking for anything better. We're not asking them to carve out an exception. We're asking for what every single U.S. American citizen is born with, which are for her constitutional rights and the protections that she deserves under the Constitution to be observed. That's it. That's what we're asking for. And so we're saying whoever ascends to the administration next, whether it be Kamala, whether it be 45, whoever it is, to take this seriously. Let this be a priority. Let this family receive the accountability and the justice and the closure. The community receive the accountability and the justice that they deserve, that as American citizens. And we thank you all for coming.